No, this isn't gonna be about how to regulate your breathing. So, what is it gonna be about? Why is this series called the breathing series? You're probably wondering why, right? Breathing and regulating your breathing usually has the connotation of calming oneself, centering oneself, relaxing. So the breathing series is a combination of two things. It's a combination of the recitation of the Quran and images of nature. And for me, those two things, they definitely have the connotation that goes along with breathing nowadays. It definitely helps in relaxing, centering oneself, and peace of mind. And so through the spirituality of those two things, it helps give my life meaning and focus and help recenter oneself. So what is the recitation of the Quran? For some people, it might just sound like you're singing. It isn't really singing. It's reciting the Quran, and reciting the Quran comes with rules, and those rules are called tajweed rules, and those kind of dictate how you pronounce things and if you need to extend a certain sound for how long and stuff like that. So even if you go and search up the same chapter or the same verses by different people, you'll hear that it sounds very similar because we're all following the same tajweed rules. The Quran that I have helps me with tajweed rules because I don't know the rules by heart. So there is like certain Qurans that have the rules kind of with like, yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but like there's colors, like that's blue, that's red, and stuff like that. So the one that I have has colors to help me with the recitation and stuff like that. So yeah, so I just wanted to clarify that. The breathing series is going to be pretty special because for a long time I've always wanted to like go into a studio and record the recitation of the entire Quran, just like those famous reciters like Al-Fasi and all those other people. And yeah, I've always wanted to do that. But you know what? Nowadays, you don't need to go to the studio to be able to do that. You've got YouTube, you've got a bunch of other resources that you can use to do that. So this is kind of me fulfilling one of my dreams. So I'm pretty excited about that. The recording of the recitation will also be available to download for free on SoundCloud. So you might have to make your own SoundCloud account for you to be able to download it. But once you do, you can go to the recording, the SoundCloud recording, and then there's like a button that says more. Click on more, and then you can, and then there's a button that says download. So you can do that. That's pretty awesome. So a lot of the times I'm not gonna have the full a full chapter in a video. I'll have selected verses of a selected range of verses of the chapter in the video, but there will be a link available for you to download the entire chapter. So that's an option. It might not always be the case. So sometimes the audio link won't have the entire chapter. It'll have just what the video has, but sometimes it'll have the entire chapter. So some really cool things about the video, about the breathing series. It's gonna include the recitation and the English translation and the English transliteration and the Arabic and a commentary. So some of the words or the verses, we're gonna have an extra explanation. And not all Quran translation books really have an explanation. They just translate the verses. Transliteration, by the way, is writing the way you pronounce the words. So yeah, for non-Arabic speakers, it helps with learning how to pronounce those words. So my advice for you is when you're watching the videos, I would advise you to first just listen to the recitation and look at the pictures and focus on that, and then listen to it again and look at the translation and the explanation. And you can even break it up into another part. You can just listen to it again and look just at the translation, and then the third time that you listen to it, you would look at the commentary. So you can pause and then read it and all that. Yeah, so that's just my recommendation of how you could benefit from the videos. The Quran translation that I'm going to be using is called The Message of the Quran by Muhammad Asad. And Muhammad Asad is actually a very interesting person. He was actually formerly called Leopold, I think that's how you say his last name, Weiss, something like, but it's with a W, but yeah, Leopold Weiss. And he was a Jew that converted to Islam, and his translation of the Quran is great, I think, for just simplifying a lot of things and really explaining things. I think it's pretty awesome. Yeah, so I'm mostly going to be using that translation. I don't know if I will always be using it, but most probably I will be. And I haven't actually read the entire Quran through that translation, but so far it's been one of the best that I've seen. And if you want access to that translation, there's a couple of ways actually. There is, and all of those ways will be in the description below. There is an Apple app, so that's only on like Apple technology, iPads, iPhones, all that kind of stuff. Sadly, there isn't Android just yet. But yeah, it's an awesome app. It's amazing. It has a lot of like really cool features, but it also has the entire book. It has even the foreword that the author wrote. It has the appendix, which is awesome. It has really, really cool, interesting things. It has a very detailed transliteration, and that's the one that I've been referring to for the video's transliteration. And it has a lot of things. It even has like reciters that you can listen to, and memorization help and all that. It's awesome. So there's that app, and it's pretty cheap. It's a few dollars, and it's definitely worth it because buying the actual like physical version of the book is crazy. If you search it up on Amazon, like so expensive, like crazy expensive, and it's like really thick and really big. So yeah, I would definitely recommend the app. And then if you're not really sure that you want to spend that money just yet on the app, you can, there's like a free preview version. So it only has like a few chapters, and you can check it out, and it's free. And if you like it and you want to buy the full version, you can do that. It's pretty awesome. So if you don't have Apple, there's another kind of, in my opinion, a last resort, because I'm not really sure of like the copyright kind of behind it, but there is this website that'll also be in the link below, that if you go to their copyright section, it does seem like they really care about, you know, following the rules and all that, but there is some room for doubt, so I'm not really sure, but it does seem pretty cool. So that website, it has the entire Quran, and it has like a bunch of different translations and a bunch of different languages and a bunch of different reciters. It has a lot of cool things in it. But the problem is, if you go and search, you want the translation of Muhammad Asad, they have the translation, but they don't have everything. They don't have the appendix. They don't have the foreword. They don't have all that awesome extra stuff. Yeah, so that's like another last resort, but I always recommend to actually buy the book through the app or whatever. But yeah, there's that too. I want to share this awesome gem that I found, and I was so excited when I found it. It's this free book, and in my opinion, it's my favorite book about my favorite book, okay? And that book is about the Quran, and it's pretty awesome. It really is. It's such an easy read, and it's free, okay? I don't know how long it's gonna stay free, but so far it's been free for a while. And even if it's not free, it's a really good book. Like, buy it. So the book is called The Eternal Challenge, A journey through the miraculous Quran. Honestly, it's pretty awesome. If you want to understand why a lot of people think the Quran is amazing, or like you want to know more about Islam, it's a pretty good like intro book. It's like an easy read about like summarizing a lot of different things about the Quran, and honestly it covers a lot of the reasons of why I'm personally a Muslim. Not all of the reasons, but a lot of them. It's a pretty good book. I definitely recommend it. And just a side note, by the way, I'm not being paid to promote any of these apps or any of these books or websites. I'm just sharing these resources because I personally value them a lot, and I'm really happy and really grateful that I found them, and I think they're awesome, so I want to share that with you guys too. So I hope you're looking forward to reviving your relationship with the Creator through the Quran and through nature in these videos, and may peace be upon you all.